What is an aesthetic body? Great minds have pondered this question for hundreds of years. Surely you have seen the Vitruvian Man figure. It is based on the ideal proportions of a male body, but I will not duplicate them here because they are incorrect. The very idea of selecting the ideal mathematical parameters of the body is simple and ingenious. However, the approach is fundamentally wrong because it is based on the opinion of only one person, and the views simply became popular. But the root of all evil lies in generalization. Smart people make conclusions not based on the opinion of a single, considering individual factors and thousands of studies on billions. I'll explain everything about the aesthetic body in this video.
These subtitles were skillfully made by Dima Torzak.
Titles made by Dima Torzak.
So what parameters distinguish a Greek god from an ordinary person? I'll reveal the secret. First and foremost, when working on your body, you should pay attention not to the volume of muscles, not their definition, not your physique, but to the overall composition and proportions of the body. And this is explained by our features of perception. A study was conducted where women were shown photographs of two types of men, tall but disproportionate and short and well-built. As a result, lower but more proportionate were rated as twice as attractive. Just think about it, everyone dreams of becoming desirable. But working on body aesthetics is what will bring guaranteed results. I won't linger, let's move on to the first parameter. It is the waist to chest ratio. Research results clearly show that the ideal ratio is 0.7. This means that if the waist circumference is 70 centimeters, ideally the chest circumference should be 100 centimeters. There are two reasons why people pay so much attention to this parameter. One being that it is a clear sign of dominance, as the leader of the pack confidently asserts themselves and is not afraid to take up space. Just think about it, walking with your chest wide open, and that means showing your weak points, your neck and heart. It is a sign of unwavering confidence and a sense of invincibility. Secondly, having a toned physique serves as a visible sign of health. I discussed in my other videos why this has such a strong impact on how others perceive you. The second parameter is the head to height ratio. It determines how tall you appear to be. Individuals 116 and 190 cm tall have heads of the same size, but their body lengths vary, reflecting what is considered ideal proportions. Are in the ratio of 1 to 8. That is, your height should include 8 heads. But in reality, the bigger the better. Research clearly confirms this. This parameter is purely genetic. A height of 1 to 79 is not considered tall precisely because of this. The good news is, this can be corrected through clothing. The third parameter is neck thickness. It unimaginably affects the overall perception of your face and body as a whole. There is an astronomical number of studies proving that women like more masculine qualities, and the neck is one of the indicators of masculinity. Fools believe that girls flock to feminine guys, but use your head and ask yourself who supports this opinion. Women, and only those who are afraid of men. And because of this, they want a convenient feminine partner. But in her subconscious, it will not insert Dresden sight, but an unwavering man. Keep this in mind. The fourth parameter is hip width and shoulder width. When someone says that you have very broad shoulders, in reality they mean that you have an excellent hip to shoulder ratio. This parameter visually distinguishes a man from a woman. A woman's hips are wider than her shoulders. A man's, on the contrary. The rule is simple. The wider your shoulders are in relation to your hips, the better the aesthetics, which all bodybuilders strive for. The fifth parameter is height and leg length. Studies clearly confirm that the longer your legs, the more attractive you appear. Short people always have legs proportionally shorter in relation to their torso. And for people of average and tall height, it depends on genetics. Look at models, everything immediately looks better. It's unclear. The sixth parameter is the length of the foot, and to understand, remember the hobbits from The Lord of the Rings. They really look like dwarves here, but I'll reveal a small secret. They weren't enhanced with special effects. And the only thing that makes them look like little ones are the huge prosthetic feet. The principle here is the same as with the size of the head. The same foot size as taller people, therefore people with long feet appear shorter than those with smaller feet. So stop wearing huge sneakers, you're just making yourself look shorter. The seventh parameter is waist width and hip width. Everyone says that leg day should never be skipped, but here it's important to consider the overall body composition. Bodies where the hips are not wider than the waist look aesthetic and elite. It's not about having skinny legs. On the contrary, it's important to make them succinctly complement the overall body composition. These 7 parameters are the key to the aesthetics of a Greek god. But how to build your body according to these proportions, I've already posted about it in my Telegram, link in the description and in the comments.